Welcome one, welcome all to episode 285 of the Xbox Expansion Pass, recorded on Friday, August 8th, 2025. I'm your host, Luke Lohr, the insipid ghost, joined by my co-host, the intrepid Captain Logun. Today we are discussing the successful launch of Grounded 2, a major strategy shift on the side of PlayStation, the cancellation of yet another Xbox project, and Rod Fergusson is out at Blizzard. Ooh, it was a spicy week. But first, Logan, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Very busy. If you can see in the video version, if you're listening on podcasting apps and stuff like that, my room is desolate and very echoey right now because all of my pictures are down, all of my paintings are down, all of my display cases and stuff are down because I'm in the middle of hacking everything. So I have been squeezing in a little bit of game time here and there, like playing World of Warcraft when I can and Grounded 2 when I can, but that's about it. Everything else has been filling boxes. So how have you been? I know you're busy too with work and stuff too. You're muted, dork.
Thank you. I didn't want you to hear the typing as I gave the link to our Discord members. Shout out to our Discord members as well. We could use it for more people in there if anybody wants to subscribe. We so it's been a good week, but school technically doesn't start till this coming Monday. But because of the much appreciated awards and attention that I got, I've been working all summer.
Yeah,
which is fine. I've actually enjoyed it. I talked at the beginning of last week's episode about applying to grad school and a lot of that. I got an email late last night, Logan, that I was accepted.
Oh, so, nice. Oh, awesome.
So I start like in a week. I do not know how I'm going to pay for it. I have no clue how that's going to happen, but I'm in. The program is beginning. So that is very exciting.
We got great schooling systems here in America. So it's like we're gonna, school tuition is covered in most in most other countries.
Well, I'm gonna be paying for that now. As soon as I'm waiting on some information, like if there's a process, like a timeline, right? Once in, then I can start applying for scholarships, and I will very much be doing that because, as I mentioned last week, the money is just tight right now, and so this is a step towards a doctoral degree, which will allow me to teach at university. And like that is the goal, is to be in a university setting, teaching future teachers. I will be 40 this year. I'd like to be doing that by the time I'm 45. So as soon as the grad school is complete, then I'll apply to be an adjunct professor. And then while I'm doing an adjunct professorship, apply for a doctorate. We'll see how it goes.
Very cool.
I hope
it works out, man.
Me too. It's a big undertaking, but one that I'm excited for. And so that's my words of kindness are to everybody that has showered me with support and accolades to help put me on this path. So,
totally.
Hey, Web Dave in the chat. Good to see you, Web Dave, especially in your time.
Who's Web Dave?
Clutch Quando.
That person who happened to pay for our breakfast one morning.
He's a good man. Man. I've always said so. Silkenet is over on the Twitch side of things.
I know.
As well. And of course, Nissa Hauer. Good to see her as well.
I know a lot. My words of kindness, definitely. I have to shout out my girlfriend, A-Chick, who I got a message on Monday that the apartment complex that I'd been hunting out in Ohio sold the apartment out from under me after showing initial interest to the landlords and stuff. And I was like, hey, I want to get a tour. If you guys can schedule a tour. They went on vacation. Then A-Chick went on vacation. They just kept coming. I got an email. They're like, oh, sorry. We forgot to tell you that the apartment that you're looking at ended up getting leased. And I was like, oh, so I have no prospects right now. Fantastic. So she helped me dig around and find some places through like Zillow and through like apartments.com and stuff. And I just signed the lease for a place out in Ohio that is going to be close-ish to her and still like in a decent area for the price. So I'm hopefully going to be saving a couple $100 at least just on rent alone.
Yeah.
With the move, but the move is going to be very time consuming and very costly on top of having to work already. Like work is getting crazy. So she's been very supportive and very helpful with trying to like get this all locked down, because it's been a very crazy logistical nightmare to have to handle on your own.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's been a while since I've house hunted, all that stuff, but there is a lot of pressure to it, right?
Yeah. A lot of you start to think about all the services and stuff that you have to like shut down and forward and set up. Like, I have to have internet ready to go by the time I get there so that I can get back to work, working from home, so it's wild. And there's only, companies only give you like so much vacation time. And we already took some time off for this summer when we were going to SGF and stuff. So like, you really don't get like the long periods of time that you used to get with, with other countries and stuff like that. So Web Dave coming in says, I always love the positivity of your podcast, Luke and Logan. You guys rock. Thanks, Web Dave. I appreciate that, man. It's good to see you.
I enjoy his shows on Sunday evenings. They keep me. I really enjoy them. He and Harjeet constantly just great people. Yeah, man. So, well, it sounds like you and I are in for a busy fall for sure.
It's not even game related either. That's not.
Well, it was funny. It's like I texted you the other day. I was like, "Hey, man, I need you on your A game in the fall," and I was chuckling when I wrote it, because when we talked about fall, to me, fall starts like next week, but really yours starts like, to you, fall starts in like late September or something. October. Yeah. It's like, that's what I was thinking, was like, all right, come October, man, I need you on it, because that's when I'll be in like full go mode for everything. And I was like, yeah, man, A game there. And it was funny because you were like, am I not on my A game? I'm like, bro, we're so busy. The two of us have 1,000 things going on. Thankfully, my wife will come off disability in September. Then she goes back on it in December for the other surgery. So it's like, dude,
it's so never ending. If only we were rich and we didn't have to worry about work and we could just sit around and play games all day.
Right? I keep looking around my feet because my dog keeps floating by me. It's like doing the float. And I was going to show her to the podcast.
It's in their chat.
I'm halfway through their episode from yesterday.
Newly revised. Dude, Dan was on something yesterday. It was collusion and cheating all episode.
Oh yes,
wild.
Yes. What is it? Our draft
fantasy league. Yeah,
I don't think we got mentioned once because we don't pay attention to it. That was funny.
No. Although I did go in and put in a bid for a game that we had, because we had to take a GTA 6. We're going to lose this thing, by the way. We're terrible at Fantasy Critic, and I put a lot of blame on myself for that one, because I'm just not good at predicting that kind of stuff. But there was a very interesting drop by the trophy room, and
that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they dropped Mafia suspiciously 2 weeks prior to the launch of the game,
right?
Which happened to be around the time I think people started to get review codes and stuff. So Dan has his suspicions, but nothing's illegal, and there's not, everything's fair game. It's just cutthroat.
Them's the rules.
Yeah. So a lot of fun stuff with the Fantasy League going on with the Nerd Chat and Season Gaming, XEP, and Trophy Room. So I'm sure next year will be a hoot, as they say.
Well, look, man, we're trying to aim for an hour today, just because we wanted to have a show. We were just so busy yesterday. What do you say we go ahead and talk about some games and see what's up?
Let's get it.
All right. So I'm actually going to skip around our notes. I know we just talked a moment ago about them, but Web Dave drops a comment in the chat that I like. He said he's excited to get the new ROG X handheld.
Yeah.
See that, chat? Can you pull that one up and throw that up for me while I pull the notes on this one?
All right. Coming here. I'm excited to get the new ROG X handheld, which is interesting.
Now, Nerd Chat follows up with, me too. I can't wait to hear what people think. The price tag has me slightly hesitant. Now, that official release date is technically not official, but it has been leaked comfortably by a reliable source at this point, and is likely going to be announced here at Gamescom in just a few weeks. This source is saying, according to our information, the ROG Ally X and Xbox Ally X will be officially launched on October 16th. 2025. This date is currently for the European market, although it is very likely that it remains to be seen whether other regions will benefit from a simultaneous launch. So October 16th for Europe, most likely, unconfirmed, but very likely based on this source reporting, and at 600 euros and 900 euros accordingly. Quid, euros, whatever it might be.
Euros.
I don't know what it is at this point. The big deal is to have a release date. It's sooner than I expected it would be.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen and heard about this is very positive.
Mm-hmm.
Except the price tag. Except the price tag. That's the drawback, right?
Yeah.
But October 16th does make sense for the release of hardware when you think about the fact that Keeper, Battlefield, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2 are all launching in that month. You have to imagine that COD's the month right after. Keeper is going to be a great display for this thing. Ninja Gaiden 4 will run really well on it, you have to imagine. Outer Worlds 2, probably a great experience there. COD, probably not. I don't know. Well, that'll be see, that's the thing. That's the litmus test of it. It's like, okay, is this the jam? But I think that's a great time to release a piece of hardware and market Ninja Gaiden, Outer Worlds, and Keeper all together.
Yeah,
it's a great time to push that.
Really going to be an easy win for Xbox to sell this kind of hardware and be like, hey, this is your Game Pass on the go. Mm-hmm. And it's better than your phone because it's not going to kill your battery while you're, in case you need to use your phone for something like that. So coming out in the middle of October, I think is good. Kind of, gives a little breathing room to some other games that are coming out in September. Obviously, like we've talked about it and stuff. I've played a little bit of the Battlefield 6 beta. That game is looking a lot better than 2042 does. And I was underestimating it quite a bit earlier on, like a few weeks ago and stuff. So nice. What a cute fluff that is.
First podcast appearance.
That's just a fluff right there.
She's a good fluff. Her name's Callie L. She's a sweetheart.
She's got a cute, beautiful coat too.
Yeah. It's a really unique coat. Callie L. Love her.
But so just kind of looking at October 16th, like I think that's a good time window because I like you am kind of anticipating like Call of Duty probably hitting top of the month and in November. Usually within the first couple of weeks of November, COD usually drops. Mm-hmm. They will probably have their COD Direct in October in the first couple months as well too. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine that they aren't going to try and capitalize at least in some way on the release of like Battlefield 6, like putting out some promotional stuff to try and like hype up both, like, hey, if you want Call of Duty, this is what we've got going on. So it's not much longer after Battlefield 6, just hold on to your cash kind of thing. Mm-hmm. The price of these, I think, is the biggest drawback. And I think that that's unfortunately just how things are going to go with these handhelds, because we're asking for handhelds that can handle the power of at least something better than the Series S.
Right.
To ask for that in a portable handheld, there's a lot. There's, you got thermals, you got battery life, you got power, you've got screen durability. There's so many factors to these handhelds that looking at the price of like 600 euros for the regular Xbox Ally and then 900 for the X.
Euros, mind you.
Euros
which translates to $1,000. $1,048 at last conversion. I checked.
Let me ask you that, because this doesn't usually happen. Because usually, like if it costs 700, if the PS5 costs $600 in Europe, mm-hmm. chances are it's going to be $600 in America too. They usually don't convert because the euro is stronger than the dollar right now. They usually don't convert and change the price to take into account the value of the dollar in America. We get the good deal because we're the largest market, right? So
Well,
do you think that these prices are going to cross over and actually like convert, or do you think it's just going to be straight across?
Jokes aside, I wouldn't bet on either, bud. It's not a betting joke. I'm just being serious. Like I wouldn't
No,
bet
but
on
it's
either.
no, but I appreciate the
Just to make sure.
the call.
But the reason I wouldn't is Nintendo just raised the price of the standard Switch because the tariff pricing is getting passed on to the consumer. Whatever I remember hearing from current administration saying that like tariff costs are eaten by the manufacturer. No, they're not. They're passed on to the consumer. If Nintendo's willing to raise the price on a console that is 7-8 years old, and Xbox just raised the price on its console, and PlayStation has raised its price everywhere, and I think it raised the price in America too. I just can't remember for sure.
I don't think they're the only. I think they're the only ones in the US that haven't raised the price.
It doesn't. Todd, real quick, shout out to Todd. He did a conversion for the lower price one. It translates to $694. The higher end one was $1,048, I believe, when I checked it. I don't know that I can answer your question confidently because the market keeps shifting and expectations keep shifting, and these companies haven't been able to steadily predict what tariff, taxes, and import export policies are going to be. So that is why I'm hesitant to even answer you. But to the real point is, regardless of whether it's $600 or $700, 800 or 900, 900 or 1,000, whatever it might be, it's a lot of money and a lot of expectation that it do X or Y. It has to perform. We're asking it to play Call of Duty. We're asking it to play Game Pass games. We're asking it to do all these things, but our expectation for buying a portable and a video game product is that it's not $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Right. So that is the nature of this diminishing and ever changing console market. Now, I do want to shout out Todd Oxtra. One, he gave us a super chat. Two, that's our first super chat in months because we had stopped asking for super chats after our trip.
Yeah.
And we're now trying to rebuild funds for future so that we don't have to do as many asks early on. So anyone's got the means, super chats are more than welcome. Todd asks us, do you think Xbox will actually market the Ally on TV? Now, that's a great question because the Steam Deck sold quite well, did very well for Valve, but it wasn't really super marketed. There weren't a lot of commercials for it. Game Pass had a lot of commercials in waves, but I don't really see them much now these days. Do we expect Xbox to market the Ally? Do we expect that?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, talk about why.
So I live in a world where I've turned off most of my ad-free subscription stuff. Even with like Netflix, I'm still running the ad stuff because I started to think about like the fact that, we have these kind of conversations about, is Xbox marketing and stuff like that. And I can live with ads for some things. YouTube is tough because then they'll put like
I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Sathia's coming in with the YouTube membership. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate that. Thank you. Get access to that Discord for sure. It's the best Discord out there.
It is.
Having access to ads and stuff like that. Yeah, I do have to worry about, if I let YouTube go, they'll throw like a 30-minute episode of another show before in the middle of my video. But I do see a lot of the advertising that they do. And 100% like Xbox is out there advertising. And with this being a good kind of pairing to a home console where most people are going to be playing, Xbox consoles on their TV, having it on there, having it like TV advertisements is the perfect place to say like, hey, you like your experience at home, take it on the go with the Xbox Ally X. Mm-hmm. So I think there's going to be a marketing campaign behind this. It would be in their best interests to do right by ROG in this instance. If they want to have good partnerships for these kind of third-party OEM machines, they need to have like some marketing behind it to be able to say like, hey, you produce the hardware, take the hit on the hardware for us. We'll take care of the marketing and licensing costs. And that way you don't have to worry about, however those deals got to go. So that's my mindset is they got to sell this thing for justifications on hiring ROG to be able to even take the time out of their own like money making to be able to sell these things.
I like Todd's point as well as saying sports. There's always a lot of eyes on sports. I would love to see them market themselves into a sports area. You know what I mean? Like that would be a really cool thing to do, would be to showcase them. These new games being played. If you can get a commercial of someone playing Battlefield 6 on this thing, of playing Call of Duty on this thing, then you got a big thing coming. And like, I was thinking Grand Theft Auto, but I don't think they'd be able to pull that off unless because the PC version isn't ready and they're not coming into. It's not going to be as doable because they have the marketing with PlayStation. But show people playing Battlefield. That's the way to do it. Show them playing Battlefield. I don't know how they could work this magic. Show them playing God of War or Spider-Man on this thing. Truly, like that. That's a way to do it, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the way to get people looking at it.
100%.
I would love to see something. So long ago when I did a soccer podcast, I sponsored a create your own commercial for Major League Soccer. And I had so many great entries. Fans made commercials. I'd love to see fans make commercials. You know what I mean? Just for fun, to showcase this thing. But we'll see. That's just like a pie in the sky thing. Bottom line, if it is October 16th, which we believe it to be based on this source, cool. Nissa says they did Gears. Agreed, but Gears is old. Even this new one that I'm really excited to play, Gears is old.
Man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Gears is a great showpiece. Battlefield 6 is a showpiece. And Battlefield 6 is crushing it in this beta. I've played a bit of it. It's very good. It's more Battlefield, but that's what we wanted. We wanted more Battlefield in the right way. Because 2042 didn't do it. But it's very good. It's beautiful, Logan.
It does look really good. Like it's like Conquest is basically the same game as it's always been. But this one does look good. I had a good time with playing support in the matches that I was jumping into.
Bless you for playing support. Thank you.
No, dude, seriously, like running around, seeing the like revive thing and being able to like grab people and then drag them back as you're like stimming them. Is really not, because then you pull them out of the firing line, and I'm like, yes, this is like that is a very realistic approach to warfare, and I'm like, dude, they got that, they did that really, really well. I appreciate that. It is still really funny to see a dude laying on his back in the middle of a tank running over a bus with a blowtorch sticking it up onto the nozzle. You know, that's a little less
that's fun.
Like
that's fun.
Realistic. But they did well by the support.
Yeah, they did. And I will say, first of all, shout out to everybody that plays support in any game. Healers are very necessary to many of these games. Thank you. Second, I do want to give a shout out to live service games, because our next topic is big, and I do want to talk about about Rod Fergusson for sure, and because we're on a time crunch. But can I tell you, live service has been shining its wonderful light on me. And it's truly testing me. The universe is like, sure, you can do grad school. But also, Luke the Green Ranger and all the Power Rangers are in Fortnite. And Blade is now live in Marvel Rivals. And Battlefield 6 is here. What you want to do, buddy? Oh, and we put some Spartans in that battle pass just to really drive it home. Hey, by the way, Luke, there's a new Doom the Dark Ages update. There's a free update in Doom the Dark Ages called the Ripatorium. Have fun. Don't forget to do your homework. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh. The Power Rangers, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can do the Dragon Dagger call. Like, I keep this every day. Like, this is the one toy I never had as a kid.
Yeah.
So I have 2 Dragon Swords there. I have the Dragon Dagger. I always keep my Dragon coin right here. Whenever we podcast, it's often one of my fidget ones. But yeah, man, then they look good in the battle pass too. That's cool.
Yeah, they did a solid. See, that's the thing with Fortnite, man. Every time people like dig on Fortnite, I'm like, dude, it is the Ready Player One of actual video games. Like any IP you want, they've had it in there, and it's wild that they keep going with it.
This new season has drop pods, and he's got Spartans, so ODSTs are coming, and the drop pods are related to bug nests.
Yeah.
Helldivers. Like, they're so good at iterating on what's popular.
It's so good.
Nerd Chat says, Luke, are you a Green Ranger or White Ranger fan? First of all, Tommy Oliver fan all day long, but green over white
R.I.P.
personally. Yeah, definitely. Oof. I got choked up the day that he passed. This is a real story. My Dragon Dagger that I had bought, again, the toy I never had, arrived to my home the day he passed.
Oh.
Like, who would have thought, right? I'm pretty sure I made a video about it if you look on YouTube in the shorts, I think I made a video on it. But both Green and White Rangers are there, and I think his time as a Black Ranger is there also. Yeah. So that's cool. I just saying live service, shout out to them.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about though.
What's that, bud?
Contraband.
Contraband is out, officially reported by Jason Schreier first, and then Avalanche Studios coming out and making a comment. Contraband is no more. Contraband was announced first in 2021, and we saw very little of it, but Jason Schreier did come out and say that while the game was planned for PC and Xbox Series S and X, it has been canceled. Steven Totillo, friend of the show, actually they're both friends of the show, for being honest. Both were very nice to us at SGF as well. Said that the game is on hold, but the official statement from Avalanche reads, quote, over the past several years, Avalanche Studios Group and Xbox Game Studios Publishing have collaborated on Contraband. Active development has now stopped while we evaluate the project's future. We're thankful for the excitement we've seen in the community since we announced, and we will give an update on what's next as soon as we can, end quote. They stopped short of saying that the project was canceled, but yeah, it's done. And shout out to Lyrically C. That's Edward Barnell, I believe, in chat. Good to see you, buddy. Contraband's done, man. I have my own thoughts. What do you think?
Couldn't care less.
Same.
Same. Didn't know what it sucks that a team lost their project, but it's been so long, and we saw like a teaser, and that was it. So it rests with all the other games that we never saw.
Right?
Like it's up there with Good and Evil, or no, the Beyond Good and Evil too.
Good and Evil. Yeah, I could not care less myself about Contraband. I also don't care about Everwild, Beyond Good and Evil, like a bunch of these I don't care. I will argue, and I know, just to make sure that nobody in the comments thinks less or otherwise, we are not talking about the human job loss element. We're talking about the IP, the brand. And I just want to get ahead of that just to make sure that nobody thinks otherwise. Yeah, I don't care less about Contraband. We didn't even know what it was. It didn't even sound interesting to my personal interests. But so it goes. Shout out to Split End.
Coming in. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the 14 months of membership to YouTube. Very, very kind of you. Yeah. I still think back to this day. I still think I care more about the fact that they canceled the StarCraft 2 Nova game than I do for like half of these projects that we ever hear about. And I'm like, we could have had a really cool Metroid game in the form of StarCraft, and we didn't. And it got killed out. Yeah.
I wish all those people well in finding a project. This is likely. This is a full assumption, but it's likely related to the massive amounts of cuts that Xbox has made in the last few weeks as far as jobs and projects and whatnot. And it's a total bummer, all things considered, that it has to keep happening. I don't enjoy that. I'm still not over the Romero Games stuff. Just out of my, again, personal interest, I would have liked to see what John Romero's next real game looks like, because he's made small stuff, but this was going to be a bigger thing. So I was interested to see what that team was going to put together, but so it goes. Yeah, man. Contraband's gone. That's gone. Not the only person that's gone this week, though. See that?
No. Yeah. Speaking of the loss of Nova and StarCraft games, we're also losing Rod Fergusson over at Blizzard. After 5 years and helping launch Diablo 4. Kind of wild, to be honest, because he came from Gears, right? And with Xbox, moved over to Blizzard and Activision Blizzard, stayed through the transition between ABK deal to back to Microsoft. And it's almost like he's like one of the magnets that's like getting pushed away by the other side of the like another magnet. Like wherever Microsoft goes, he eventually just does not want to be there, which I don't think is like the emphasis of why he's leaving. But it is kind of strange. Like wherever Microsoft goes, he ends up going away from it, because this is the second time.
So that might be the case, but I'm going to push back and then you tell me if there's logic in this one. So he's got a reputation in the industry as being a closer. He helps projects get to completion, right? Yeah. That's kind of his thing. He helped Gears 5 cross the finish line, came in kind of partway through development to help them cross the finish line. God, he helped. It is. I love that game. He helped Diablo 2 Resurrected, Immortal, and Diablo 4 all get put out. There is a lot of good work in his catalog that comes with him launching projects. That said, it could be related to, I know a lot of people are disgruntled with Microsoft, for sure, but I also don't know what that actually means. Like, is this similar to Mike Ibarra being frustrated? Like the other, I forget the vice president of Bethesda that exited. Was it Pete Hines some years back? Pete Hines.
Yeah. I think that his departure, I think, very much was tied to the lack of the PlayStation inclusion to like Starfield. I think that exclusivity rubbed him the wrong way based on his comments.
Certainly could be
speculation.
Now the question is Ferguson was he unhappy, or were people unhappy with his work as far as, because I know the Vessel of Hatred and then his future plans weren't as well received as he might have thought or hoped. But I also think it's possible he just wanted to go help close and get another project across the finish line or go do something else. So like I'm very cautious about speculating past, like into the drama sphere. You know what I mean? Yeah. Was he unhappy at Microsoft? We have no clue. Did we meet him this year? I know I met him last year.
I don't think I got to meet him this year.
I don't think we saw him this year.
It would have. I know Split ended, but I don't think I got to. I would have loved to have actually like gotten to see him and say hi to him and stuff, but I don't think so. This is pure speculation. I have no foundation on this, but I do know that there are quite a few teams that Rod has worked with, in as far as like at the same company. That are probably close to launching titles. Like I know Wildgate just came out, but there are former Blizzard devs that have left and since created their own projects that I would not be surprised if maybe one of those was looking tempting, or maybe there was a, I don't know, like a studio that hit him up at a thing and said like, hey, you know, we got a year left. We need your help. Yeah. I could totally see him wanting to jump over and find out, who knows, maybe, you know, pie in the sky tinfoil hat scenario here, but maybe Sony's looking to hire him to help kind of get some of like Marathon on you know, finished up, and because we just got reports saying that they're supposedly still on track to release in 2026. That's a pretty tight time window for them to come out with a game that at reveal was not looking too hot, based on what people played and what people were saying. They were much more interested in Arc Raiders. So maybe with Destiny Bungie getting absolved into Sony's studios, they need someone like Rod to come in to help close Marathon.
If Rod Fergusson goes to Marathon, I'll eat a bean boozle. I can't imagine anyone of his caliber wanting to go to that project.
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that's a thing. Big shout out to James Suddy for dropping $5 super chat. He says, let's hear it for gaming, bringing people together. See you tomorrow, Luke. Yeah, it's one of the reasons we're recording today is Suddy's stopping by my house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he is traveling up 95. I live off 95. And so we'll get to see each other and meet in person for the first time. So,
don't ride the motorcycle, Suddy.
That poor guy. He lives dangerously. But no, he and his whole family are stopping by my house, so we're gonna go out to lunch at a local place. And our buddy Kev is coming down from Raleigh to meet him in person as well. So we're really excited. Yeah, we've never met in person. We've been playing the game since pre-COVID. So
yeah,
we started gaming with Suddy. This is a fun story. said he was on dialysis.
Yeah.
And just needed people to play with. He's like, hey, I listened to your show. Can I play with you guys? And we were like, sure. And then just every night now.
Just hung out to be there forever. It's good to hear that Kev's getting out of his house. The boy needs some sunlight.
Bro, he's always out. Jokes aside, he's always out. He just never stops wearing sunscreen. It's crazy. But yeah, so I wish Rod Fergusson the best because every interaction I've had has been positive. Yeah. Obviously, Gears means the world to me. Diablo, I really love, but Gears is special to me. Yeah. So I hope wherever he ends up, he's happy. His statement, I should read his statement before we close this point out. He says, quote, after 5 years of driving the Diablo franchise forward and with 4 big launches, it's time for me to step away from Blizzard Microsoft, sword in hand, and see what's next. The teams are set up for success with an exciting slate of releases ahead. I am incredibly proud of what we built together, and I'm looking forward to what comes next for Diablo and for me, end quote. Doesn't say he's quitting, doesn't say he's unhappy, doesn't allude to him being fired. I hope whatever he does is a positive for the industry. I hope the people that work with him are as happy inwardly as it appears people are with him. So
I'm jealous that he got the. So if for those that don't know, Blizzard employees after each kind of like milestone year, they get a different gift, and I believe the 5 years is the sword, and then 10 years is the shield, and then 25 years I think is the helmet. And you just kind of keep working your way up. There's not too many people I think at Blizzard that have ever gotten the helmet. But they have stuff like that on display so that you can see cool. at the actual Blizz studios and stuff. It's always been very envious of like the guys that get the sword and stuff. I would love to work at that company for 5 years and get the Blizzard sword. It's not Frostmourne, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of a neat thing that they do.
Clutch Kwando says, we only get crystals at Microsoft. Clutch, if you're allowed, can you just on Discord send me a picture of that? I'd be curious to know what they look like. Just because I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, what
crystals
are
cool,
right,
especially, and it makes sense living in Washington. It's a very hippie state. Lots of crystals.
Thanks, Clutch. I appreciate you.
But yeah, I wish the best for Rod. I've never heard anything negative towards him. I've always thought that any project that he touches with the intent to turn into the best thing that they can possibly make it. And Diablo 4 is, in my opinion, I think Diablo 4 is in a really good place. They've consistently gone through and tried to improve each season, listening to player feedback, trying to iterate, add quality of life improvements. Things that are in Diablo 4 now that were in Diablo 3 were very much needed at the launch of Diablo 4, and it took a while to get there, but they've consistently iterated. Even they've been adding mother's embraces right now. So it's like if you're trying to round out your season, now's a great time because it's double. Speaking of live service games, Mother's Embrace has got the double reward balance or bonus on golden and season pass progress right now. So it's a lot easier. So things like that, fantastic. That it's nice to see that Rod has left a positive note on Diablo 4. I'm very curious to see what he goes to. Whatever he does, I'm assuming it's probably going to be pretty metal because the dude just hops from Gears to Diablo to anything he jumps into. He's it's got to be some sort of cool metal kind of project that he wants to jump into.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You mentioned sword in hand, and you mentioned shield. And that made me think about the Doom stuff. I know I talked about the Doom Dark Ages update real briefly. That was announced at QuakeCon, but Shadow dropped at QuakeCon was a compilation package that's available now on Game Pass. It's also available for all other platforms at a $15 price tag. It is a compilation of remasters for Heretic and Hexen. Now, if you're unfamiliar, think Doom, but with magic. Classic Doom, but with magic. This is out of Night Dive Studio, who we've had on the show before. We've had 2 different people from Night Dive on the show before. I absolutely love Doom and I love Night Dive, and I've never played Hexen or Heretic, so I've downloaded it. It's on my to play list. I'm really excited for it. I didn't know this was happening, so this was a really cool surprise for me. The cool part about Heretic Hexen is They were originally developed by Raven Software, but produced by id all the way back in 1994 and 5. And to see that they're getting like the modernized updates that the Doom 1 and 2 collection got, real cool. Because I still play that Doom 1 2 collection. That is so good with mods and everything else.
Yeah.
They also sent mods to Doom Eternal for PC. I hope the console ones aren't far behind as well. So it's exciting, man.
Cool.
It's nice to see they're continuing to serve Doom, Quake, Heretic, Hexen, like that legacy quite well. Because I think, speaking of metal things, those could have a future should they want to explore it. Doom might need a break, but why not revitalize Hexen? Or
a lot of people love Hexen, and honestly, Hexen I feel like took a lot of the lessons learned from Doom and really put an interesting spin on like medieval magic and stuff like that. It was cool. It's a good IP to have them kind of throw around. And shout out to just QuakeCon, man. They've survived more than like you think about like relevance of games. Like I heard Guardian Con was going on the other day, and I was like, Guardian Con is still a thing. That's funny. I didn't actually. Destiny? Yeah, it's for Destiny, man. Cool. But it's still a thing that keeps going on. And I mean, me, the person who like goes to like Sea of Thieves conventions, like me being surprised that Destiny 2 still has a convention seems silly. But yeah, QuakeCon still rocking and rolling, man. Love to see that that community support, because most of that stuff is all community based, dude, and it's not easy to set up a convention.
Yeah, good for them. That is cool. Really happy to see that one. Let's see here. Heretic Hexen. Okay. So this one was interesting, Logan. Now Joe was telling me about this while we were playing Battlefield and Fortnite last night. Because I didn't even see this pop apparently on socials, because I'm not on Twitter. Or X if you want to be fancy. I'm not on there. I'm in this kind of insulated space over on Blue Sky. Smaller, less engagement, but healthier, I suppose, for my interest. I guess is a better way to put it. Nonetheless, basically Sony's VP or a Sony VP came out and basically articulated and reemphasized the strategy that they are moving away from a hardware-centric model. And they're doing this in a number of different places, not just in gaming, but like it makes sense. And when Joe was telling me this, I was like, so they're taking the Xbox model. And he's like, yeah, pretty much. Like Xbox has moved away from a hardware centric model for quite a long time. A lot of their hardware has been spun down and pushed into OEM categories, software, operating systems, that kind of stuff. PlayStation is looking to be creative in more places that are less hardware based per se. Helldivers 2 is arriving later this month onto Xbox. We just got reports this week that is not just because of Arrowhead. Sony wanted that to happen, which is very different than the narrative I had heard prior to, which is a great thing to hear. Is we're confirming, I guess you would say, that Sony is now also they're realizing that the console game is just not going to do it for them, and so they're pushing out other things onto other platforms, allowing their catalog to go more places and expanding their reach into other platforms. I think this is great. The way Joe would tell it is that all the fanboys are in an outrage over it. I don't care about that at all. I'm just excited to see that this is I think a healthier future for Sony.
Yeah. It's funny because I was listening to Nerd Chat last night, and it kept coming up, like the conversation about consoles, how relevant are consoles and stuff. And even though numbers are still strong for Sony, they are still seeing a hardware decline as far as sales go. And they've even talked about how they're moving over to MAUs as a result of them changing. And when it comes down to it, I keep thinking like, yeah, everything is just going kind of homogenous, like the hardware is not specific dedicated silicon just for these consoles. That is an architecture that people don't typically learn how to code for as far as execution goes. So it's like, cell technology is dead. They realized that was a bad bet on the PS3 and went to x86 architecture for PS4, and so did the Xbox One. So it's like hardware is just kind of running all off of the same kind of processors. And if you're going to build a game for that, or if you're going to have titles something like that for that, what is the difference between selling your games through Steam and selling your games through Xbox outside of the religious kind of zealotry that comes with console wars and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And if you remove yourself from that conversation, then you just sit there and think, okay, well, everything that we're doing is making money over here. And that was a free, all we had to do was agree to give a portion of that over to Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now the people that are going to be the most upset about this because content's going over to Xbox, that cat is already out of the bag if Xbox releases their ROG Ally X and they get access to Steam and Xbox on an Xbox branded hardware. Exclusivity is now a joke. So with the advent of $90 games in Mario Kart World, what is exclusivity when hardware is now unlocked to any platform that they want to have on there at this point? Why not just have all of it running to you at this point? Why would you give up that money if you're seeing a slow decline in hardware and a slow rise in online microtransactions and digital sales and stuff? Like, it's scary to think that CDs and Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff like that are going to be gone soon, and physical media is going to eventually die, and everything's going to be streaming and digital. But at the same time, you're going to have more access to everything than ever before.
Right.
And for gamers who just care about gaming, they don't care about their tribalism. That's awesome. For the people that care about the tribalism, there's no recourse for them. They are going to have to just suck it up and adjust and adapt and grow and evolve and take in different ideas that were scary. When Sega was saying, we do what Nintendo don't. And that's just kind of how I feel about it at this point.
Yeah, I'm long since over the exclusivity element. I just want to see more of what I love. Like, when I get to see Spartans in Fortnite, I'm happy. Like, that's cool. People are learning about Halo. And now they'll see, like, oh my gosh, what is that from? Oh, there was a show recently. I'm going to go watch it.
Mm-hmm. Don't watch it.
Oh my gosh.
Don't watch Master Cheeks.
I'll never forgive them for Quan Ha. I think ultimately I like the direction of availability for this. I am very sad that the tribalism still exists. I know by nature of even our show title, like Xbox Expansion Pass, it's always gonna be there. But I'm excited to play Sonic Racing at some point. I haven't played on my Xbox, and I don't care. Like, play it where you play it. Cool. When I play Battlefield, my buddy Joe is on his PlayStation. My buddy Herman will be on his PC. Kev will be on an Xbox Series X. I'll be on my X most likely. You'll probably be on your PC. Like, okay, but we're playing Battlefield. Like, that's cool. Yep.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just think it's funny that Rocket League did this for us. Remember that? We accidentally flipped the switch.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to where are you most comfortable, and I think a lot of it is dependent on your interface. How do you interface with the game? Do you interface with a touch screen? Do you interface with a controller, with a mouse and keyboard? How do you like your controller? Is there a third-party option for that? Do you need it to be on the go? That really, at the end of the day, because I mean, we look at this and you could throw the same argument to movies, like, oh, well, you're not a real moviegoer unless you go support in the movie theaters. And then you look at them adding more time onto the advertising and wonder, like, okay, do I come a half hour late or do I come 45 minutes late before the movie begins?
Right.
Compared to, the movie makers saying like, oh, well, you shouldn't, Martin Scorsese saying you should never watch a movie on a phone. It's like, well, do you want me to watch your movie or do you want me to not watch your movie? Because it's like, I would like to enjoy your content, but watching it on my tablet in my bed when I'm most comfortable and open to watching your film is important to me rather than the form factor that you designed it for originally, kind of thing. And it's like, Once
Agreed.
it goes out to the public, let the public decide where they engage with it and put yourself in that position. It's what people do with social media. It's what people do with movies. It's what people do with music. Why should it be any different with games?
Agreed. We had a question on the Sony strategy coming from Chipotle Berry, but he dropped this in our Discord. It says, with Hayakawa's recent announcement for Sony that they are switching to be a more platform-based strategy, do you think an xCloud competitor is on the horizon for PlayStation games to be streamed on the cloud? If so, what's your guess for the timeline? I do not anticipate xCloud competition coming from PlayStation first. I think that'll come from another place at some point, but I don't think it's a PlayStation specific thing. What do you think?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're already doing this with PlayStation Plus. Like, you already stream a lot of the PS3 games.
Yes, but he means like modern, like Xbox just added a ton more Play Anywhere titles.
Yeah.
Like a ton more. I didn't pull the article just because it was just like, oh, this is just more goodness for the Game Pass subscribers. But like, those are games that came out yesterday. I could play Doom: The Dark Ages streamed. You can't play. Well, Sony hasn't put out a game in a while, but you know what I mean. Like the latest.
If Sony was releasing games, they would they do like a? Okay, so yeah, in that instance, I think they need to have the more day and date with PS Plus first, and then we can start having the conversation about them doing day and date for streaming as well too. With them just getting like over the hill of like, okay, we're okay with games coming to PC. I fully anticipate and kind of subscribe to Joseph's kind of like idea of like, when titles come PC and console day and date, that's when we'll start to see stuff go more third party. That's when we'll see like the trickle become more of a flow and more of like a waterfall, and then like a huge tsunami. It'll like open like the cracks in the dam already, and we're starting to see the leak. It's going to take a little bit longer. So I anticipate it to happen because I think that, Xbox and European Commission were right to consider cloud kind of the next platform, the next frontier for gaming. Streaming may end up being what that is. Totally depends on infrastructure, but I think it's going to take Sony a little bit longer.
All right, fair. Good feedback on that one. I do want to address Nicholas Johnson's comment that he dropped us in chat over on Discord as well. And he says, with Battlefield not being a top competitor in the first-person shooter genre for a few iterations, what are some factors you guys think has led to such an outpour of support for Battlefield 6 and its beta? Ooh, I think Black Ops 7's reveal was like a wet blanket landing on a wet floor, just plopped right down. It doesn't matter if the trailer was cool or not. That debut was just not good. And I think very clearly that Call of Duty is desperate for reinvention. And we truly need to see an oscillation between franchise types for it to be better. Doing the Modern Warfare 2-3 served Luke Lohr and did very well. Yeah. And it's good. It's good, by the way, for continuity of purchases.
Yeah.
So that element is good. But I think Call of Duty is going the Fortnite route of just skins and weird stuff. I think it fell apart when Beavis and Butthead show up, if I might be honest with you. I like them.
Why is it Beavis and Butthead that are I think they're just it so wasn't stupid. Seth Rogen in the
I mean, that was
I didn't do it.
It was Nicki Minaj. No, I think truly people are just they want to be excited about something new, and this is what's new. Really and truly, because the first-person shooter genre needed something new, and Battlefield is going back to its roots. It's saying all the right things to appeal to hardcore players. It looks good. It's not trying to do a cross-gen approach to anything, and they're saying all the right things to bring people back. This is a spiritual successor to 3 and 4. Sweet. It's not Hardline. It's not 2042. It's not Battlefield's 5 and 1, which I liked 5 and 1. But like this is a Battlefield experience in purity. Okay, cool. Like, and the beta is playing well. It's playing very well. But it's just a beta and it's free right now. So this is an outpour of support for sure. I wonder how pre-orders are going. I have to imagine they're strong. I'm going to put in some good time tonight. I played some today. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope this is amazing because I want to play it. 2, I really want Call of Duty to be kicked in the nuts a little bit.
Yeah. At this point, like you can tell, Call of Duty has had weird skins for a long time. And you're seeing that kind of crossover into other Blizzard stuff now as well, too, beyond just what Activision's stuff was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the IP, if you do the IP right in the right game with the right content, like I think Overwatch does IP really, really well. They bring in skins from different franchises. They do a suite of them and they tailor them to the character's look, not just a blanket here's so and so in the game now kind of thing. Like if you do something that's a bit of an homage, right, it pays off a little bit better because you still have that essence of the character that you're playing. It just looks very close to one of the other IPs and stuff. But I think the factors with Battlefield have been they were very upfront with what they intended for the game. They were very clear about their distinction between the competitors. They brought in a lot of big name Twitch streamers who were fans of like the Battlefields of old and gave them full access to play for quite a while and then broadcast a lot of that while offering beta access for a very easy buy-in of 30 minutes of your time on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then started to offer shortly after beta access to the actual game. And because of that, they're hitting on all of the right bullet points to have a successful launch just based on like the actual marketing aspect of it. They're saying what they need to say, and they're getting the points across that are going to counter what people are tired of with Call of Duty. So they have a very clear idea of like what they want to sell and how it's going to be better in at least from their eyes than what Call of Duty is putting out. So Call of Duty recently released some artwork for their upcoming game, and it's going to really depend on how things go because there are still a lot of issues that Call of Duty has to combat to keep their game's engagement. But at the end of the day, Call of Duty regardless is still the top selling game when it comes to shooters. Like no other game except maybe PUBG come close if you're looking at like realistic shooters. So I'm curious to see like what they do, how they execute this launch, because the lead up afterwards is always the big testament. Like how are the servers day one? They're probably going to be on fire, but what's coming in a month? What's going to keep Battlefield players invested after the first couple of weeks?
Split End, our buddy David saying Battlefield admittedly didn't even one up COD during Infinite Warfare, so it's going to be a tough ask for them. He follows up by saying, I wonder if Black Ops 7 beta will hit around the Battlefield 6 launch. Probably. I like that. Red Beast, our buddy Red Beast saying, I think people want it to succeed because it's something familiar and reminds them of how they remember playing earlier Battlefield games. Yeah, I think that's good.
A lot of nostalgia from streamers during that live production that they did. A lot of them talking about what they enjoyed about Battlefield and stuff. So
Logan, well, first just put a pin in this one. Are we done? Do you feel like we've said everything we want to say about Battlefield?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how the beta is received by the public. Mm-hmm. So, because I had on good authority the people in labs were enjoying it. I was not in it, and I'm excited to see how everybody else enjoys it. So, the last thing I want to talk about, we're going to do it very quickly here. Grounded 2, off to a fantastic start. Logan, you did a wonderful review, which I encourage everybody to go watch. We also were fortunate to have an interview with them prior to launch, which I thought was really cool. I love this game. I'm 50 hours in, and I think I'm done doing all the big stuff because I'm not a builder. I don't want I'm trying to build my base, but I don't enjoy it. Right?
Ridiculous.
I know that's a big part of the community, but like, I love this game. It's off to a fantastic start. It's currently sitting at number 9 in the US for Xbox Most Played and 10 in the UK for Xbox Most Played. I'm sure Game Pass trials had something to do with this, but that's fine. However, Alinea Analytics, which is an analytics firm, came out and said that according to their numbers, it cracked the top 10 downloads across Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, but it's not even out on PlayStation 5. But it came in at number 10 with 1.9 million downloads in its first 3 days. In the case of Steam specifically, the firm stated that Grounded 2 had sold 600,000 copies over there to date, which is said to be 1.25 times more than the first Grounded. Now, Logan, you and I were given review access.
Yeah.
I loved it so much, I went and bought the Founders Pack, as it were. And then we got, then they sent us the Founders Pack. I was like, I don't do this, so I gave it to you. Did you end up getting to find somebody for that one?
No, not for that one.
Okay.
So that one's still available.
All right. Well, it's in your back pocket. Do with it what you will. But I love to see that Grounded's doing well. And I'm just happy because I really love Grounded 2. And I hope more comes. They had a good first update, too.
Yeah, dude, this is one of those ones where when they announced it at SGF at their Xbox showcase, I was like, this is exciting. This is, and the fact that they've got it out so close after they'd done the fully yoked edition for the first game. It's clear that the help that they received from the other studios really did impact like how good this is going. They've got a great roadmap to open up a lot more areas. There's a decent enough content just in this preview that you could release it as a full game and, have it as like a good cliffhanger for the next game kind of thing. They could easily have done that if they wanted to. It does suffer from some glitches that are lingering from the first game. It still has they would go through and update. And there's some things that I wish that they had released at preview to kind of like give fans of the first game more to play around with. Being locked out of certain tiers of like building materials or like Omni tool things like that, all nitpicks. Because at the end of the day, I think that you could genuinely sit down and get a good experience just with the preview, put it down, wait 6 months for the next like major update of like a new zone opening up, come back, play through the next act and really enjoy it and just have this like kind of game that you drop in and drop out of over the course of the next year or two until they get the full launch out and you get to finish up that story. But yeah, they killed it with the story. They killed it with the voice acting. I've been so impressed with them coming at this with the sequel mentality and really wanted to raise the bar. The mounts are fantastic. I love having the mounts. It trivializes like building with having your truck kind of red ant soldier to pick up huge loads and move quickly throughout the world and stuff. So I've been having a really good time with it. I think A-Check and I are a few hours into our playthrough of it. And I'm already like rebuilding houses and creating expansions and like having fun, just kind of coming up with new concepts of how to build a house and make it look like a proper house, with like a wraparound deck and, a little porch area with a barbecue going there and stuff and having like an extended roof, chandeliers and like all kinds of cool stuff that I've been playing around with there. So I encourage everyone to go out. I mean, the fact that it's $30 is an easy buy-in considering you get pretty much the size of the game from the first one in there, sans a couple areas and some building stuff. But yeah, a really, really fantastic game. Can't wait to kind of keep an eye on this as the devs keep working on it and releasing fixes and stuff. Yep.
Agreed. I thought you were crazy when you were standing up cheering for Grounded 2. And I humbly apologize because it's my favorite. it's in my top 3 favorite games this year. So yeah. I adore it. I love it. I want more. By the way, I have 3 mounts in the game, 2 ants and an orb weaver, and they're all named Steven. One's Steven, one's Stefan, and one's Stevan, like with a capital V. And that's my orb weaver because he's big. He's a van.
How do you like the orb weaver? Because I wasn't too impressed. I think it needs to be more dangerous.
Love it. Oh yeah, love it. Because whenever I go into combat, I just hop off of him, and give the AI 2 things to fight. I don't die in combat. I never die.
I love doing that so much.
If I ever die, it's because of the sizzle, which they just fixed in the latest hotfix, but we'll see.
Yeah, I need to. I on my playthroughs, there's a couple tests that I wanted to do that I didn't have time to. So I'm waiting to get up to that level with HX so that I can actually start testing some of the resistance gear and stuff. Yeah. So deep for as silly as a game as it is, and I love it.
Yeah, agreed. Alrighty. That's going to be it for us this week. A shorter episode, which we're going to start bringing it back down to an hour and a half, hour and 10 minutes kind of thing anyway, just to accommodate our schedules and life and whatnot. We thank you guys for supporting us over on Patreon. We thank you for the super chats. We've purposely not been asking for them because we had so much community support getting us to LA. But now we have some bills to pay. And so a big shout out to Todd Oxtra, Sathius, Split End, and Suddy for supporting us on that side of things. And if you're already supporting us on Patreon or a channel member, we just appreciate you there as well, because you're doing the same thing. Like, you are helping us out. And so thank you for taking good care of us. Logan, do you have anything else before we depart? You want to let people know where to find you, what you got coming out?
I am taking a break on reviews and stuff like that. Keelhaul's going to just kind of be like the normal keeping up content up there. Smuggler's Tide is coming out, where they're putting mercenaries and smuggling into a pirate game as if it's something we all just don't do already, which is kind of weird, but I don't know, man. They're celebrating their 40th anniversary. If they want to lay up on the content drop for the season, it's whatever. It's 40 years for the studio. Let them have a cookie kind of thing. So plenty of news to talk about this week. I don't know how I'm even going to manage getting it done while I'm working on everything else. But outside of that, keeping a bit low key as I focus on real life stuff. And then as soon as that's all settled and I can actually like have my room, you'll know the day that you see in September when I moved in and it looks like this, but slightly different. When I have everything set up and I have like the camera at the right angle and all my stuff on the wall and stuff, then you'll know, like, I'll be in go mode and I'll be like, all right, let's get back into this and stuff. So looking forward to that. It's just hectic, but I appreciate the support from everyone on the Discord and in chat. It's so great to see you guys pop up on a different day at a different time. Gives me hope that if we ever have to shift this schedule to a different thing to make it easier to cover content or something, that's possible. So thank you so much for showing up and letting us know that you guys care about hearing from us. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Agreed. Alrighty, guys, that is going to be it from us. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.